Hi there, this is going to be a very quick demo of our game Chrono Abyss, made by Dream Eater Interactive. So let's just start the game right off the bat. Well, first I'll show you actually, you'll see that we can generate different types of floors. So this one has an ice theme. If I quit and start a new game, you'll see this one is the desert theme. There's also a lava theme and also just a regular dungeon theme as well. So we have 4 different floors. Which one you spawn in is going to be random. The differences between the different themes are just, well, just that. They're just thematic and aesthetic. But in the long run, we do want to include differences, functional differences in these different themes. So maybe different types of enemies can spawn there or different types of room hazards. While I have the game paused, I'll just go over the UI very quickly. So the red bar here is your health. The blue bar here is going to be the timer for your power-ups. The power-ups right now, we don't have any. We have none of the power-ups. You get them by opening up these treasure chests over here. The first power-up is invulnerability, so you don't take any damage. The second one is infinite ammo, and then the third one here is spread shot. So instead of shooting 1 bullet, you shoot 3 bullets at a time. Those are just temporary. You don't have them for an infinite amount of time. You only get 2 power-ups per floor. You have to find the second one. The first one's given to you in a chest here. This number up here represents the difficulty level of the floor. So the higher difficulty level, the enemies are going to be more difficult. Each dungeon, you're basically going to be going through a loop. And in every iteration of that loop, you're going to be spawned into one of those 4 dungeons I described earlier. And this level here is just going to keep incrementing. So whenever you complete a floor, what you're basically doing is you're going to defeat a boss in that floor. When you defeat that boss, you're going to go to a level up screen where you can spend gold, which is what this UI element is for. You can spend gold that you pick up from enemies that you kill to improve your character. You can give him more ammo, you can give him more damage per bullet, etc., more health, etc. And that's the other thing too, is we also have the ammo indicator here. So it tells you how much you have in your clip and how much is the maximum ammo you have in your clip. So there's a reload time as well. So that's pretty much it for the UI. Let's get started on the game itself. I'll show some of the combat mechanics here. So first you see we have our gun. It floats around the character. So he's got like floating hands, sort of like Rayman from PlayStation. So he has a gun in one hand and he has the sword, the melee weapon, in the other. You can basically shoot in 360 degrees around you. And you can also melee attack whatever's in front of you. So the sword is just going to always follow the player's movement direction. As for so one of the main things in this game is the movement time mechanic. So I'll demonstrate that with the bullets. You'll see that it's all moving in slow motion until the character moves. So now that I move and stop, you see that the bullets move accordingly. Now this applies to everything in the game except the time creeper, which we'll talk about in a second. Now the other thing too is that whenever you reload your gun or whenever you swing your sword, time is going to move normally. This is just a balancing decision. Otherwise the mechanic would be too strong. Let's pick up the power-up. And also take a chance to mention the time creeper. We just have to sit here and wait 2 seconds. You'll see the time creeper come up anytime now. And there he is. So this is the time creeper. You're gonna see when I try and shoot him, see I'm barely doing any damage to him. And if I try and see if I touch him, he takes off a lot of health. So you're not supposed to be able to kill him right away. Eventually, as you do more and more floors, dungeon floors, you're going to improve your character enough that you'll be able to kill this demon, and what you're doing is you're breaking out of the loop. Right? So when you kill this demon, he's going to spawn a portal. You go into that portal and you face the final boss. That's the end of the game. But otherwise, if you're not able to kill him yet, you just keep doing the cycle of dungeons that keep increasing in level. You earn more points or more gold to improve your character. Eventually you'll be able to kill the time creeper and beat the game by killing the final boss, which you teleport to. I think that's a good overall explanation. Now I'm just going to play the game. You're going to see that there's different enemy types too. So I just killed a skeleton. That's one of the melee types. This fat guy over here is like a stronger melee character. He can take more damage, and I believe he does more damage as well. This blob over here shoots projectiles. So this red looking one, what he does is he shoots projectiles that follow the player. And this one here just shoots projectiles that go straight at the player, so they're a little bit easier to dodge. This is the gold I was talking about, so as you pick it up, your gold counter increases. Also, there's a little bit of overlap here, but there's like hearts that drop that give you health. You can see it behind the gold coin here. I'm just gonna go pick that up. And there's some room hazards here, so sometimes you'll have lava or sometimes you'll have spikes. If you touch them, you see you're gonna lose a little bit of health there. So you don't want to touch those too often. So one other thing is, if you decide to try this game out, the only doors you can go through are the ones with the 2 carpets on either side. If you just see a carpet like this, sometimes you'll see a door with just 1 carpet. Unfortunately, that's a little bit of a glitch we weren't able to iron out in time. But yeah, it's not too game breaking nonetheless. Here, I'll show you from this enemy. You can see the homing mechanic there, so you see how it follows the player. So I'm going to take a second here to clear those out. Those are probably one of the more annoying enemies in the game. I didn't mention it also, but you can use your sword to sort of like swing projectiles out of the air. You're still probably going to take a little bit of damage doing that. There we go. Okay, so what we're essentially trying to do is find the boss portal. So you're gonna go room to room. You'll see that there's like a cloud over each room here. So just to hide what's inside. And once you go in, you'll see everything in there. Okay. I'm not doing too well on health right now. Generally, it's a good idea to try and kill those seeker enemies. Alright, so we got our second power up now. So we have a spread shot and we have an infinite ammo. I'm going to save that for the boss. Oh, and speaking of which, we have a boss portal, so that's good. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to survive this. Depends which enemy it is. Oh, it's this guy. Alright, I'm going to cheese this a little bit. So I'm taking advantage of, you know, what I know about this game. And the easiest way to defeat him is to go underneath and spam as much as you can while trying not to get hit. See, this is where the bullet hell sort of comes into play. I'm going to use the infinite ammo power-up. I used the spread shot, but I think the infinite ammo will help here. There we go. Alright. I'm just going to shoot away some of the projectiles here. And then get all that gold. So keep in mind, this is still a level 1 floor, right? It's supposed to increase gradually as we beat every floor. So that boss, you know, might have been easy, but at higher levels, he'll become even more difficult. And of course, I used 2 power-ups there, just to give you an idea. Alright, so now that I've killed the boss, I have 33 gold. We get this green portal. This green portal is going to bring me up to the level screen. So there's the level up screen. I have 33 gold. I can, you know, spend it to increase one of these abilities: vitality, ammo, agility, strength, etc. I want to increase the gun damage. So there, now it's at 2. You see that the price also increases for every level. And now your character's level is at level 2. So let's press continue. And now you see we are spawned in a new instance of a floor, and the level now is 2, so the enemies are going to be a little bit more difficult. We have another power up here, so that's nice. And you know, that just shows sort of like one iteration. There's going to be 4 different bosses that you can get. So we got the slime boss that splits in 2. There's also like a slime king that shoots a bunch of projectiles. He's a big slime. There's a skeleton boss that spawns a bunch of skeletons, sort of like a necromancer. And then there's also a mirrored version of yourself as well, which is pretty cool. That's another boss. He's sort of like he's gonna look exactly like you, but he's sort of like a mirrored copy. And he moves like you do in the game, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I could go through and try and find another boss to defeat. I just have to remember to keep reloading. I forget to do that. There we go. Yeah, so I'll just go through one more portal loop just to show you that the stats are working and increasing, that there's persistence. That's one of the glitch doors, unfortunately. Okay, perfect. Didn't take too long to find that. Alright. Obviously, there's still some balancing issues. Long term, we want to, you know... Oh, this is the Mir Boss. So you see, like, as I'm moving, he sort of does the opposite of me. You know, sort of like a little bit of a proof of concept here. He's actually one of the easier bosses. I'm going to use the spread shot power up here. That should kill him pretty quickly. There we go. So see, now we're level 2, and I finished another iteration of this dungeon. I'm going to be able to, or this floor, I should say. This time, let's increase the ammo count so you can see it. And I guess I'll increase my health too, and continue. And see, now I'm on a different floor. Again, it's just random which floor you get put into. You see now it's at level 3, so it's a little bit harder. The gold persists from the previous instance. I still have the same power-ups I've collected so far. I did increase my ammo count when I leveled up, so you see the ammo's leveled up now to 8 ammo instead of 7. And yeah, you basically just go through this dungeon crawler sort of loop, increasing your stats, defeating bosses, and eventually you wait around for the time creeper, and hopefully you've increased your stats enough that you're able to go kill the final boss. And that's pretty much it for what we have in this game so far. You know, we're submitting it as it is, but I still consider it a work in progress and something that will continue to improve and expand upon. Thank you very much for giving this a watch, and hopefully you enjoy it, and if you get the chance to play it, we hope that you enjoy the game and the different cool features in it. Thank you very much. Take care.